Good evening and welcome. You're watching Breaking Views with me, Sanket Upadhyay, a show where we get you all the views so that you get the complete picture. Today we are talking about the world's largest free ration scheme. Food grain being provided to people who are affected because of COVID. Now there is a 7th extension for the free ration scheme. And while this extension has happened, and there is this whole debate on whether it is required or not required, there is another debate which is going on. A few months ago, the government propagated a Revdi debate, which means giving doles to the people. They said that this is nothing but a dole which harms the country, which is harmful for a country's finances, for the economy, and thus it should not be done, because this is just to win elections. The 7th extension of the free ration scheme has been done. This time for 3 months. You know, apart from the other things that the government says that for 3 months we'll do this, we'll do that, and we have assessed and there is a need, so we are extending. There is one more thing that you need to know. The government will tell you this. And that thing is, the Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh elections would have also been completed in these 3 months. So whatever happened to that Rewri debate now? Should we have that debate? I think we should. Let's first tell you what has happened. There is a 7th extension for the free ration scheme. All India free ration scheme has been extended by 3 months. The pandemic relief scheme was to end on the 30th of September, now has been extended. The cost is 3.4 lakh crore rupees for the last 30 months. It's a massive burden on the state exchequer. It has been fully funded by the centre. There are 80 crore beneficiaries. Now it has been used extensively in election campaigning. Free rations began in April 2020 when the pandemic began. The average monthly cost in 2021 was 13,333 crores. The average monthly cost now is close to 15,000. But you see, the thing is that while all of this is fine, a debate was started on the 16th of July this year where the Prime Minister said, and this is what he said, very dangerous for the development of the country. He is talking about the burden on the state exchequer when you have these sort of doles. And then the Delhi Chief Minister responded. The Prime Minister was not talking about his free ration scheme. He was talking about free electricity and all the promises that Arvind Kejriwal makes and other political parties make, including his own, by the way. The Delhi Chief Minister hit back and he said, free education to the poor, free Revdi, or laying the foundation of the country. So the Prime Minister used that word, Revdi, to which there was a political backlash. But you see, there is a big debate, and that debate is over the definition. What is a Revdi? What is a freebie? As opposed to what is a welfare scheme? How do you distinguish between these two? How do you know what is Revdi and what is not? Take for instance Akhilesh Yadav in January, where he said in the run-up to the UP elections, we'll give free laptops for UP students. He gave that also when he was in power. Yadav had promised free electricity also earlier. Amit Shah in February said free gas cylinders to UP's households. That was a promise. The Goa government said that free laptops will be distributed for SC and ST students. Now, is this Revdi or is this people's welfare? Aadmi in party in Gujarat says free electricity up to 300 units. Revdi or people's welfare? Between 2013 and 2017, the Odisha government distributed over 59,000 phones. Again, the same question. How do you distinguish what is Revdi and what is not? Because everybody will have their own definition. I mean, Mr. Naveen Patnaik can turn around and say, I empowered so many people with the phones. This is people's welfare scheme. It is not Revdi. YSR Congress, and let's learn their views on freebies. The government initiates, in fact, these are initiatives on poverty, agriculture, education, health, housing, women empowerment. These should not be considered as freebies. This is the view of Jagan Mohan Reddy. He says constitutional mandate to elected governments to implement welfare measures. Revenue expenditure is not always wasteful expenditure. YSR Congress challenged the definition of capital expenditure. Elected governments should have latitude to decide on schemes. Now let's quickly introduce our guests while we essentially debate this, and let's quickly put that context also on screen. The ration scheme has been extended. Who wants the Revdi debate again? Because I feel that even now, while there is a ration, Revdi and Rajniti going on, it's very important to go to the basics. And the basic is define what is Revdi, define what is a freebie. Let me quickly introduce our guests. Charan Singh Sapra, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Alok Vats, BJP leader, Reena Gupta, spokesperson of the Aadmi Party, and Rajat Sethi, political analyst. Thank you very much to all of you. Mr. Vats, I want to begin with you. And I want to ask you, today the ration scheme has been extended. It should be, because the Congress said that we had empowered the people, we had brought a scheme where food was available to these people at a very, very discounted rate, and the government took that away from the people, and now you're doing the same thing, and now you're taking it away. The argument of the Congress Party is that what is supposed to be a adhikar has been converted into some sort of a largesse. The right of the people has been converted into a largesse, and they're constantly being told that this is a burden on the exchequer.
Yes, Sanket, let me tell you one thing. This scheme was not provided as a freebie. It was the demand of the time. The corona hit the economy so badly that lakhs of people went jobless. And those also who were in job were confined to their homes. So, in a way...
But sir, what is the situation now? By that logic, now the government says situation is much better. Economy is rising.
Let me elaborate before you interrupt. So, it was a force measure and we had to give it. And it was given to almost 80 crore people continuously. And now also on the employment front, and since after 2-3 years back, now the celebrations are on for the various festivals one by one. So the government has just extended it for another 3 months in view that everybody celebrates the cultures, these rituals, these festivities.
Sir, festivals will be over in October. Scheme has been extended till December. And by the way, there is something else that would be done by December.
You are not understanding.
Gujarat and Himachal elections.
No. Festival will go till November. There are various festivals which fall in November. So in Bihar and UP, the Chhath is the most sacred, which will fall in November.
Correct. So, but what else will happen before December? Are elections to 2 states, Mr. Vats.
It's a welfare scheme extended. It's not a freebie, like a permanent thing to be given. We are giving you electricity permanently free.
Where is the definition of this? Do we have a clear definition in this country on what is a freebie and what is a welfare scheme? What is Revdi and what is not?
Well, I do agree with you on that point, that this particular thing of Rewri and welfare scheme has a very thin line of operation, and it has not been defined very well.
Charan Singh Sapra, I want to come to you now. You see, what is going to happen now is an argument कि हम बांटें तो रेवड़ी, आप बांटें तो जन कल्याण. That if we do it, then this is Revdi. If you do it, then this is people's welfare.
मैं इसको उसी तरह से कहना चाह रहा हूं कि बीजेपी करे तो चमत्कार और दूसरा कोई करे तो गुनहगार. That's what Narendra Modi and the BJP wants to say. You have rightly said, Sanket, just because, there is a bigger festival than Diwali, which is the festival of elections, I feel. Elections to the 2 states, Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. Narendra Modi and his government, whatever they do, they keep an eye on the election. They are working like an election winning machine. And every scheme, whatever is announced, keeping in mind that they are going to garner votes. And the way, they do the branding also. You have seen the center PDS system where it is being distributed. Mr. Modi's photos are put around at the backdrop in the shops also, and they are given in the packets with Narendra Modi's branding also. And they have made a study, the BJP and RSS has made a study on it, that in the last 5 elections to the 5 states, this scheme has, earned them votes. That's why Narendra Modi wanted to increase this Rewri. As he rightly termed, these Rewris are being distributed only for these elections. There's no other reason. And as far as the BJP spokesperson was now talking, he himself was trying to commit that there is less employment in the country. Why Narendra Modi is not finding out ways for employment? Why he's not finding out ways to reduce?
So you're saying that the extension of this scheme, you're saying the extension of this scheme is
commodities.
The extension of this scheme automatically means that there is a problem and an admission on the part of the government that things have not moved at the pace that they would have liked and that there is a problem still as far as the revival of the economy. Reena Gupta, I want to come to you now. You see, when this Revdi message happened, there was a bitter war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party as well as the BJP. Now, one case in point was Punjab state, where you were extensively promising, and the BJP said, you will keep on promising endlessly, and then there'll be a burden on the exchequer. Then you will look towards the center and ask for funds. That's where the Revdi debate gets difficult.
So, Sanket, I think there is a misconception that a lot of people have in this country that only the rich people pay taxes and the poor don't pay taxes. See, each one of us pays taxes, whether it's somebody buying a bag of salt or is somebody earning a high income. Now, it is this budget, the tax money that gets used by the center government and by the state government. So, for the Modi government to keep saying कि हमने एहसान किया है, they're not doing anybody any ehsan and they're not giving anything out of their own pockets. That's point number one. Aam Aadmi Party model, Arvind Kejriwal model has always been that this money needs to be used for the welfare of the people. Now, what do the people need for, people need access to good and free education, good and free healthcare. In a place like Delhi, they need access to free electricity, buses, all of that. That is the Kejriwal model. On the other hand, you have the Modi model where they waive off taxes, 11 lakh crore taxes of their corporate friends. So these are the two different models in front of the country. When they're not able to counter Aam Aadmi Party, then they say Revdi hai, this is a Revdi. In Gujarat, Mr. Amit Shah said that jo log sapna dikhate hain, unke jhanse mein mat aaiye. So obviously they are rattled with the politics of Aam Aadmi Party because we have delivered on our promises in Delhi and we are starting to deliver in Punjab also. So I think they need to take a call.
I think the question I asked you was the burden on the exchequer and you looking towards the center. That's the point that I had asked.
Yes, their chief minister has come to the center and asking for grants.
So where is the center is, this is money going from the states to the center, which needs to come back to the states. In this government, the last finance commission said that the shareable pool of taxes has been the lowest. Okay. So what you are doing is you are collecting all the money.
Rajat Sethi, I want to bring you in here. You see, as far as freebie versus people's welfare debate is concerned, the one point that has emerged from this discussion is adhikar versus ehsan. What is supposed to be a right is passed off as largesse. And that's where the problem is. Also the definition of what is people's welfare and what is a freebie.
See, essentially the problem is politics, and as long as politicians would want to drag this, they can get on this philosophical debate of drawing this fine line between what is a Revdi and what is not, as long as they would want. There are 2-3 points that I disagree with. First, you said it is drawn around the election season. Elections happen all the time, all along the year. There is an election in February, then there is an election in around the month of May, which is Karnataka elections, and then you will have Telangana elections. So the elections keep on happening. The point is not that. I think the economic rationale behind extending the scheme right now was that there is this global uncertainty, there is inflation, and in order to protect the lowest strata of our society and provide a safety net, you at least would want to ensure that you do all in your capacity to at least feed them. And I think that is one logic which goes against the Revdi argument, because this is not Revdi. This is the basic safety net that you provide. I agree with Aam Aadmi Party's politics, wherein they say that yes, healthcare and public infrastructure around good education are two essential responsibilities of the state. That is perfect. But where it goes wrong is when they start saying that, okay, I'm going to deposit 1,000 rupees for every woman across the state of Punjab. That is a classic definition of what a Revdi, irresponsible Revdi politics is. If you go out and start distributing largesse like this, something like what the Nyay scheme was proposing, that they will distribute 72,000 rupees in a non-targeted manner to every single individual in the country. That is fiscally irresponsible, and it can drive the whole country into an economic mess. We've
But
seen
isn't a farmer direct transfer happening in this government too?
Yes, so I agree with you, and I think that needs to be parsed as to why is the transfer being given. Is the transfer covering some kind of mismatch in the MSPs that you would ideally want to transfer to the farmers, or is it to avoid any kind of a farmer?
Rajat, do you see where the problem is? My point is, do we have a clear laid down definition?
Scenario, if the government does not provide a rationale, it is Revdi. I agree with you here. But any kind of transfer, there has to be a
But see, again, you have various governments who are, by the way, any person's manifesto can be passed off as nothing but Revdi.
See, passing laptops,
it's full of promises.
Sending TV units, sending refrigerators to every household, all of this is Revdi. But if a life is associated with that, be that of a poor, be that of a farmer, that needs to be protected by the state.
On this panel have a consensus on defining it properly? Sitting together and defining.
Oh, absolutely. Isn't
that the most important thing right now? That this debate will end, because we will all know what is a freebie, what is a Revdi.
Let me tell you one thing, Sanket.
Yeah, Alok.
If we all agree and define the Revdi and non-Revdi, which political party is going to agree to our terms or our deliberations? Everybody has his own deliberations and his own way of thinking about what is Revdi
and it
and what
is
is
fair
not
for there to be, not more than one view. Why should there be only one view, Reena Gupta?
That contradicts your position. You wanted a consensus.
No, one moment. So the people will have different views, but they have to get together and agree on a definition.
So let there be a committee formed of all political parties and
Reena Gupta.
Sanket, this gets defined between the people and the governments that they vote for. As a party, when I'm saying
so you're saying that there cannot be one common definition?
Absolutely not. And how can you have something which is essential for a citizen of Karnataka, Tamil Nadu might be different from what is essential for a citizen of Punjab or Delhi or Uttar Pradesh.
It can be defined statewide also, if people come to a consensus.
And the people who vote for them to define what is essential in that
Your
state.
whole plank is based on Revdi, so how will you agree to this?
Sir, you are just saying that you are distributing free ration to get the votes. You just
I've run out of time. Thank you very much. Reena Gupta, Alok Vats, Charan Singh Sapra, as well as Rajat Sethi for joining us. Thank you very much. All right, joining us right now is Mr. Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party. Sanjay जी, आज आपने सुना होगा सरकार ने ये फैसला लिया है कि 3 महीने के लिए मुफ्त राशन योजना को और आगे बढ़ा दिया जाए. इसको आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
देखिए, नमस्कार संकेत जी, आपके दर्शकों को भी नमस्कार। सवाल यह है कि एक तरफ तो आप कहते हैं कि मुफ्त की कोई सेवाएं मिलनी नहीं चाहिए, दूसरी तरफ गुजरात का चुनाव है, हिमाचल का चुनाव है, तो उसका जाहिर सी बात है एक दबाव होगा, और इसके कारण से आपने कहा कि भाई 3 महीने के लिए एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं। तो आप 3 महीने के लिए क्यों एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं? अगर आपकी मंशा साफ है तो आप कहिए कि हम 1 साल तक इस योजना को एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं। आप 3 महीने के लिए क्यों एक्सटेंड कर रहे हैं? ये तो हर आदमी को समझ में आ रहा है ना कि गुजरात का चुनाव 3 महीने में खत्म हो जाएगा, उसके बाद राशन खत्म हो जाएगा, जैसे यूपी में हुआ, चुनाव खत्म, राशन खत्म। तो इस तरीके से आप अगर कोई योजना बनाएंगे, चुनाव को ध्यान में रखते कि भाई हमको लाभ तब तक ही देना है, डीजल पेट्रोल का दाम तब खत्म करना है, कम करना है जब चुनाव हारेंगे, हम राशन तब तक मुफ्त देंगे जब तक चुनाव नहीं हो जाता, चुनाव हो जाएगा तो हमारी मुफ्त राशन की योजना खत्म हो जाएगी। तो ये बात मेरे ख्याल से हर सामान्य व्यक्ति को समझ में आती है। इसलिए कोई भी योजना बनाई जाए तो ठोस योजना बनाई जाए, स्थायी योजना बनाई जाए। जैसे दिल्ली में केजरीवाल साहब अगर बिजली फ्री देने का फैसला लिए तो आज तक वापस नहीं किया उन्होंने। भगवंत मान जी ने 1 जुलाई से लागू कर दिया 300 यूनिट बिजली
नहीं, लेकिन अब आपने ये जो दिल्ली का उदाहरण दिया है उसमें मैं आपको ये बताता चलूं, आप तो जानते ही हैं कि अब सब्सिडी कौन लेगा, उसको उसकी राशनिंग होनी शुरू हो गई है कि आप मिस कॉल दें और आप लाभ चाहते हैं तभी वो लाभ मिले, नहीं तो नहीं मिले।
क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग इस बात को कह रहे थे, अब आप वो भी फिगर सामने आ जाएगी कि कितने लोग वास्तव में सब्सिडी लेना चाहते हैं, कितने लोग नहीं लेना चाहते हैं।
ठीक,
तो ये
तो आपका ये कहना है संजय जी कि ये चुनाव के मद्देनजर ये किया गया है। मेरा दूसरा सवाल ये है कि ये जो रेवड़ी बोला जाता है कि ये फलानी चीज रेवड़ी, ढिमकानी चीज समाज कल्याण, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं, आपको नहीं लगता है कि ये परिभाषित हो जाए, देयर इज अ क्लियर डेफिनेशन ऑन व्हाट इज रेवड़ी एंड व्हाट इज पब्लिक वेलफेयर, इट विल सर्व अस बेटर।
देखिए, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, बिजली, पानी, इंसान की जिंदगी की मूलभूत जो जरूरतें हैं वो या तो न्यूनतम दाम में मिलनी चाहिए या निःशुल्क मिलनी चाहिए, ऐसा हम लोग मानते हैं। क्योंकि अगर किसी के पास पैसा नहीं है तो उसका बच्चा पढ़ नहीं पाएगा, ये नहीं होना चाहिए। उसको इलाज नहीं मिलेगा, ये नहीं होना चाहिए। उसको घर में रोशनी नहीं होगी, ये नहीं होना चाहिए। पीने का साफ पानी नहीं होगा, ये नहीं होना। तो मूलभूत जो जरूरतें हैं इंसान की जिंदगी की, वो या तो निःशुल्क मिलनी चाहिए या न्यूनतम दाम में मिलनी चाहिए, नंबर 1। और दूसरी बात, रेवड़ी शब्द जो आपने कहा, रेवड़ी गरीब आदमी को क्या मिलता है? मतलब अगर उसको थोड़ी सी बिजली फ्री मिल गई या पानी फ्री मिल गया या इलाज फ्री मिल गया तो उसको आप रेवड़ी कह रहे हैं। और अडानी की संपत्ति अगर 10 लाख करोड़ से बढ़ के और आगे निकल गई और वो दुनिया के दूसरे नंबर के अमीर हो गए और उनको बैंक का कर्जा 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए का मिलता है और 75,000 करोड़ उनका कर्जा माफ हो जाता है, तो उसको आप क्या कहेंगे? 10 लाख करोड़ रुपए आपने चंद पूंजीपतियों का जो बैंकों से कर्जा उन्होंने लिया था उसको राइट ऑफ कर दिया, इसको आप क्या कहेंगे? आप क्या कहेंगे जब आप कॉर्पोरेट टैक्सेस को घटा के 30% से 22% करते हैं और देश के बजट को उससे लगभग 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए का घाटा होता है? क्या कहेंगे इसको आप? ये भी तो रेवड़ी है, लेकिन ये रेवड़ी चंद पूंजीपति मित्रों तक पहुंचती है, तो इसलिए उसके खिलाफ कोई बोलता नहीं और जिससे एक बड़े वर्ग को फायदा होता है। देखिए, 2 तरह की अर्थव्यवस्था है। एक अर्थव्यवस्था है जो चंद लोगों को मजबूत बनाती है, वो पैसा ब्लॉक करके अपने पास रखते हैं। दूसरी अर्थव्यवस्था है जब आप आम आदमी को राहत पहुंचाते हैं, उसके जेब में जो बचत होती है तो वो बाजार में उसको खर्च करता है। तो कहीं ना कहीं बाजार की अर्थव्यवस्था भी इस बात से चलती है। इसको अकेले फ्री के दृष्टि से मत देखिए। उसके पास जो गरीब आदमी के पास जो बचत होती है छोटी मोटी चीजों की खरीदारी में, वो उस पैसे को बाजार में
लेकिन देखिए, सरकार की तरफ से ये कहा जा रहा है ना कि जब कोई चीज दी जाएगी, जैसे आज भी फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने बोला कि ये भी 3 महीने का बड़ा जबरदस्त वित्तीय भार है। दिस इज अ फाइनेंशियल बर्डन ऑन द एक्सचेकर, इवन दिस एक्सटेंशन ऑफ 3 months।
तो आप मेरी बात की पुष्टि कर रही हैं वित्त मंत्री जी। मैं भी तो यही बात आपसे कह रहा हूं कि सिर्फ चुनाव के कारण ये 3 महीने का एक्सटेंशन है। चुनाव खत्म, राशन खत्म, ये योजना नहीं होनी चाहिए। अगर आप गरीब को,
So do you think that there'll be a confirmation? ये चीज स्पष्ट हो जाएगी कि ये चुनाव के मद्देनजर था अगर 3 महीने बाद ये एक्सटेंड नहीं होता है?
यूपी में यही हुआ संकेत जी। यूपी में अब पैसे लगने लगे राशन के। पहले निःशुल्क राशन मिलता था और जब वित्त मंत्री जी कह रही हैं कि ये बहुत बड़ा भार है हमारे ऊपर, तो ये मान के आप चलिए कि कहीं ना कहीं 3 महीने की योजना चुनाव के लिए है। गुजरात,
देखिए, राज्यों के संदर्भ में स्पेशली दी आम आदमी पार्टी, द कंटेंशन इज आप लोक लुभावन वादों की घोषणा तो कर देते हैं, जैसे कि पंजाब में आपने कर दिया, लेकिन उसके बाद जब आप उसको सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएंगे तो बजट के लिए फिर आप केंद्र की ओर जाएंगे। दिस मैटर इज इन द कोर्ट ऑल्सो। दैट्स हाउ दे कॉल इट रेवड़ी। हाउ वुड यू रिस्पॉन्ड?
देखिए संकेत जी, दिल्ली में जितनी योजनाएं हमने चलाई, चाहे वो फ्री बिजली की हो, फ्री इलाज का हो, फ्री पानी का हो और बस की यात्रा फ्री हो, फरिश्ते योजना हो, एक भी योजना हमने बंद नहीं की, बढ़ाया है। पेंशन 2 गुना 3 गुना की, चाहे वो विधवाओं की हो, दिव्यांगों की हो, बुजुर्गों की हो। तीर्थ यात्रा हमने निःशुल्क यहाँ पे बुजुर्गों के लिए कराई, एक भी योजना बंद नहीं की। पंजाब में भी जो घोषणाएं हमने की थी उसमें फ्री बिजली का काम शुरू हो गया। 51 लाख परिवारों को 0 बिजली का बिल आया पंजाब में। और इसके साथ साथ मोहल्ला क्लिनिक का काम वहां पे शुरू हो गया। तो जो घोषणाएं हमने पंजाब में भी की है उसको भी पूरा करेंगे। दरअसल ये बात जो कही जाती है कि बजट बड़ा घाटे में चला जाएगा, इसको तो दिल्ली में केजरीवाल जी ने झूठा साबित करके दिखा दिया। उन्होंने 8 साल से लगातार मुनाफे का बजट दिया, यानी कि ये सारी फ्री स्कीम लागू करके भी मुनाफे का बजट दिया जा सकता है। ये तो केजरीवाल जी ने साबित करके दिखा दिया दिल्ली के अंदर।
ठीक, संजय सिंह, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस राइट हियर ऑन एनडीटीवी। थैंक यू।